Well, good evening, all my little Pokemons. Mewtwo here with you today, and, well, I'm in a warm, cuddly coat. If you haven't seen that full suit video yet, I probably posted it a while ago because my thoughts videos tend to be far behind those. Sorry. Anyway, tonight's going to be a thoughts video, as I kind of alluded to with that comment. And that is the next section of Stargate. Shocker, since that was the last thoughts video I did, and I mentioned I would do this one. So here we go. Today's thoughts is Stargate Atlantis. Alright, if you haven't watched my first Stargate video, or Stargate in general, either go back and watch Stargate SG-1, or my video about it, to get yourself caught up. If not, if you're ready to go, you have some idea what's going on, we're in for the fun ride. Now, it was around Season 2 that we first, in the Stargate system, decided we could dial outside of the one galaxy. But instead of using 7 symbols, we have an 8th symbol, plus some extremely weird power source thingy-doo-ba-jigger. Once you introduce the power source thingy-doo-ba-jigger, and you dial out with your 8 digits, you get another galaxy. You specifically have to apparently get a Stargate in the other galaxy that is capable of multi-galaxy stargating. As in, I think it has to also have an extra power source. So, those are your steps 1 and 2. If you're going to manage both those things, you can cross to another Stargate network. That's what Stargate Atlantis is about. They got a power source thingamajigger, plugged it in, found this address, and went to another galaxy. They specifically took a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of equipment, to the platformy thing, which was named Atlantis. It was kind of a city, as far as they first found out. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert, I'm probably going to spoil some of this because there is some plot line that's kind of interesting. I'm going to do my best to not be too super spoily, but you kind of end up with some. So, you wouldn't add any yet. I mean, this is literally the start of the show. We haven't got anywhere yet. They opened this futuristic alien city thing, which happens to have a Stargate on it, and weapons, and all sorts of weird stuff. And it's a big city that's currently underwater. They managed to raise it up onto the surface of the water, and it is an armed city that lives on a planet in another galaxy. They set that up as base camp, effectively, for this galaxy's expedition through Stargate stuff and learning things. Instead of just walking through the gates in this one, they tend to use these gate ship things, the little shuttle pods that are actually armed, which is not bad, just not by much. They only have like a couple rockets each. But it's an easy way to more transport people to another location, in the fact they're also being transported. So when you get there, you're not stuck walking 50 miles to the nearest city. You fly there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the little Stargate dialing thing is actually in the console, so every time you go to dial out, you just get to press buttons in your ship. Zoom. And because this is also a water-based start off, these also can go in the water. Bonus. They find there is life on this planet that they end up on besides this. No one's living in the station, mind you. They just find them on the land mass. Make friends, add your 1 token local alien to your main raiding party, and ta-da! You just made yourself a basic, sci-fi party trope. Your head your head leadery guy, a sciencey person, a semi-sciencey person, and your alien. Ta-da. Problem solved. Speaking of sciencey people, the head science person for Atlantis was actually in a few episodes of SG-1. And he's kind of interesting, so I kind of like him. Bonus points for Rodney. Or, was that Rodney? I can't remember. He was the Canadian guy, whatever his name was. In fact, they had a lot of people of different nationalities in the Stargate Atlantis expedition. So, that was nice. We had a variety of nationalities. Kind of like original Star Trek. So, that's the thing. Just like SG-1, we went and explored other places with the Stargate. Different kinds of aliens. There's a bunch of these vampiric fish people aliens, which is kind of cool. Yeah, that's the thing. Different kinds of weapons, alien weaponry than the ones they had in SG-1. And a lot more general exploring, just like it felt like a good season 2 to 4 of SG-1, but with a new environment and a new crew. No one I didn't hate, so no one I hated specifically, so I was good with that. In fact, watching SG-1 still, I found I'm all the way into season 7. We're still on the Goa'uld, so I thought it was season 7 that we started the other stuff, but apparently not. Still original crew there on season 7. That's a catch me up. If I have any more news before I finish this, I'll let you know. Anyway, back to where we were. We changed out crew a few times on Atlantis. Either people die or more people are transported in. And at some point, we actually bring one of the spaceships from the initial galaxy out to the Atlantis galaxy. Kind of cool. A little bonus there. We move in a ship. Also, another weird side plot. After that, you have starships from both sides of the galaxy salvaging gates from planets that aren't going to be in use. They make a chain of them with a Stargate gate room section in the middle. And they basically make a chain of events setup so you don't have to use a super power source to get from original galaxy to Atlantis galaxy. Just have to stop at the waypoint in the middle, dial the second gate, and fill your way on over to Atlantis galaxy. Woot! So kind of cool there, and a little bonus. And amongst all the weird stuff that goes on, we actually ended up with Carter being the head of the Atlantis expedition at one point, which is kind of nice because, though I didn't hate the initial in chargey on the Atlantis or anything, she was actually fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with her. She was a good actress and did a good job of being commander. But since, well, Carter wasn't doing Stargating in the regular series anymore, might as well move one of your moneymakers over to the new galaxy and let her do something somewhat important, being in chargey. Throughout a lot of the expeditioning about, they find more of these magical superpower sources and are able to make the station do more fun stuff because it only had one and it was apparently low on juice, but they had enough extra juicy battery things to it, and they're able to use more of its shooty guns, and apparently the some seeker self-guided missile squid things that are a thing. They've initially found some of those on Earth in a late episode of SG-1, well, late in the Goa'uld series. Magic chair controls everything. Apparently that same magic chair is here in Atlantis. It's actually the driver for the whole shebang. So yeah, squid missile things. Cool. And at some point they do actually take, well, they get figured out or something by the bad guys, and they have to move Atlantis. They figure out how to make a shield work, drive it to another planet. It's safe for a while. Again, stuff happens. Decide to move it again. This time they're moving. The final function is they end up moving it to Earth, which means they lift off. They're in shielded mode, and they go space hopping between two galaxies. It's kind of a risk when you don't exactly necessarily know how much power you got in those little funky alien batteries, and if your shield runs out, there's no air out there. One of the benefits when they brought it to the surface on the first planet they had it, they could turn the shield off that was holding all the water back, and ta-da, free air. Out in space, your air would go free. Because this wasn't exactly a sealed compartment system. It was the shield is what made it safe. Kind of a design flaw, if you ask me. You'd think if you're going to be a spacefaring vehicle, you'd manage to make walls and doors and things an option. Personal thought, not something they addressed. Oh well. Well, I didn't get into all the details on this one. Because, again, this was 6 seasons long. If I remember, I'm pretty sure it was 6. I don't think there were any attached movies to this one. It was just seasons of actual episodes. And I barely felt like the first season was the Get to Know Your Neighbors season. We pretty quickly went through that process. Partly because being a second series, being spin-offy, you're brought into this with the concept of what a Stargate is and what travel is and stuff like that. So we just had to introduce some of the new elements, the new people, and the aliens. So by not even a quarter of the way through the first season, I felt like we were on game. We were in this. So yeah, 100%. I felt like this show started off hard and kept going good all the way through. Yeah, like any show, there's an episode here or there where you'll feel, nah, this particular episode didn't speak to me, but I didn't get that all the way through. I rarely got an episode where I felt, this is totally toot. I'm bored. So, yeah, this is pretty much 100% good. I definitely recommend it. It doesn't seem to be on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's on any other streaming services at this point. I know it did at least once come out on DVD. Not sure on the prices right now. I'll take a look at that later. I'm actually curious myself because I wouldn't mind owning, well, at least these 2 Stargates. The third one's another fun story. That's a later episode. So yeah. Characters are all good. Characters are all spot on all the way through. I was not disappointed. Even when we had any characters changed out, it never felt like it was just we're getting replacement Daniel or replacement Carter or replacement Jack. We got characters that felt like they belonged where they were pretty much all the way through. I think the weirdest part was when Carter became the commander of the station, and oddly, I was okay with that, because they made a good reason why the other commanding person was out of commission, and it gave a good reason for Carter to be doing something interesting again. Kind of like Jack O'Neill became the general for a while. Well, we let her be commander of a space expedition thing. Yay. Overall, yeah, good show. I I recommend, though, you at least watch some of Stargate SG-1 or the movie first before you get into this, because a lot of it would make more sense if you saw it second. That's a personal opinion. But, honestly, if you know anything about Stargate, you're pretty much okay to start into this. It's not like it has to hold your hand through the process, and if anything, I feel like a lot of shows do too much hand-holding to begin you with. Deep Space Nine had a whole season of, I felt like, practically hand-holding it through the process of people, and I'm like, I've had Star Trek since before I was. This is an old hat. You don't need to explain Klingons a second time. You don't need to explain what a space station is, or height warp drives, or any of that stuff. Just let us have fun. And I actually feel like the few episodes of Get to Know Your Neighbors stuff at the beginning of Atlantis is more or less enough to give you enough to start with. But yeah, since it is kind of a sequel series, spin-offy, I recommend at least getting through a few seasons of SG-1. And it's on Netflix, so if you have Netflix, you're covered. Just watch it. Enjoy yourself. Click it on. You got nothing to lose. Anyway, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The little dingly bell for the little dingly bell. Let you know when I post new videos. Could be a Mewtwo video. You never know. This could happen. Who knows? Might even still be in this jacket. I'm thinking about recording something else right now, so that might happen. That's how much time I've left. Anyway, also Patreon link in the description box below as always. If you're so inclined to want to support my channel, I definitely appreciate every penny spent on me. I use it all to help make your lives more entertained. So for now, definitely though still, thank you for watching. That's the most important part. And I hope to see you all in another video. For now, stay fluffy and stay Pokemon-y. And I'll see you again.